Why doing nothing makes stress even worse. Most women think stress gets worse because life gets harder. What they don't know is that in midlife, doing nothing is often what makes stress biologically even worse. And a recent study showed this in a way that shocked even the researchers. Stay with me. This will change how you understand stress. Let me give you some context, not to scare you, but to give you a power through understanding. Women are 49% more likely than men to have elevated cortisol levels. That's not a personal issue, that's simply biology. And by midlife, hormonal fluctuations amplify the stress response even further, which means cortisol doesn't stay stable on its own. It has a direction. In a 2025 randomized controlled trial, researchers followed women over 3 months. They divided them in 2 groups. One group practiced yoga, the other group, the control group, didn't. They did nothing. They weren't doing anything harmful, they were just living their normal life. Here is what shocked the researchers. The control group cortisol levels increased by 22.3 in just 3 months, not because life suddenly got worse, but because this is the natural trajectory in midlife when we don't intervene and when we do nothing. Meanwhile, the yoga group saw 8.4 decrease in cortisol levels at the same period. Same stressors, different biology because of intervention, because you do something. So, if you've been telling yourself, I'll deal with stress when things calms down, this is your wake-up call. Things don't calm down by itself, and cortisol doesn't wait for calming down. There was a period in my life when I was simply too busy. Travel, work, family, kids, partner, responsibility, life, myself. I told myself I'd return to my practice later. Nothing dramatic happened at first, but slowly over time I noticed the signs. I was more irritable, my sleep became lighter, I felt tired but wired, and then it hit me. I wasn't getting worse at handling stress. My body was drawing in cortisol, not because I was weak, but because I had removed the practice that kept my nervous system regulated. When I returned to my consistent practice, not intense, just consistent, everything shifted. My sleep regulated and I was a completely different woman. I was myself again. Here is what is happening under the surface. With age, the circadian rhythms of cortisol blunts. The clear rise and fall pattern flattened. And hormonal fluctuation, stress response becomes louder and longer. So if you feel like you are handling stress worse than you used to, you're not imagining it. This is just biology that changed, and biology required a different strategy. So let me give you some practical and useful information. Because here is the good news. In that study, women practice 60 minutes twice a week for 3 months. But other research shows benefits with 15 to 20 minutes a day. Because what matters most isn't the duration, it's not about timing, it's about consistency. Your nervous system responds to repetition, not to heroic of just doing one hard workout during the week. Another important point, and this is where many women go wrong, not all movements lowers cortisol equally. When researchers compared exercise types, yoga ranked number 1 for cortisol reduction with a score of 93%. It is higher than running, strength training, and general aerobic. Don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with all the others. We need them. But why yoga is better for cortisol? Because cortisol isn't just a muscle issue. It's also a nervous system issue. Your practice that regulates the nervous system works at the roots of affecting cortisol. That's why yoga is so good. So let me give you one simple thing you can do today, once a day for the next week. You just come and sit into a child's pose. You just extend your arms, grab a cushion, and just rest your forehead. And you breathe here. Inhale and exhale. Just relaxing fully your shoulders, your arms, your forehead, everything. And you give your body a signal, we are safe now. Do this daily. Set a reminder, because your future self will thank you, and do it just for 4 weeks and pay attention to the difference. Let me know if there is difference and what is it. If you want a structured practice designed especially for the nervous system reset, for hormonal balance, you can find it inside my program, and you can access it from the link below. Let me leave you with this. Stress doesn't stay neutral in midlife and doesn't disappear if you do nothing. Without support, it escalates. But when you intervene gently, consistently, intelligently, your body responds. Not because you're fixing yourself, but because you're finally working with your body, not against it. You're addressing the communication your body gives you, and you are just doing consistent small steps that gives the biggest effect.